The Nile River. The Nile River is the world's longest river at 4,132 miles, 6,650 kilometers, surpassing the Amazon by 155 feet. It traverses 10 northern African nations, including Uganda, Ethiopia, Sudan, South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and Egypt. Uganda and Ethiopia are the two primary streams that flow via Egypt and into the Mediterranean Sea. This enormous Nile River squeezes through steep canyon walls to form the Murchison Falls. Along the Nile are waterfalls, intriguing water formations, dense greenery, and an abundance of wildlife to observe throughout the day. The western branch is called Rosetta, whereas the eastern branch is called Damietta. The Sahara Desert. This inhospitable desert is acknowledged as the world's largest sandy, hot, dry desert. Please be aware that Antarctica and the Arctic are deserts, with precipitation. The Sahara Desert is, thus, the third largest desert in the world. It encompasses 11 counties covering around 3,500,000 square miles. Comparatively, it is nearly the size of the United States. It is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, the Red Sea to the east, the Atlantic Ocean to the west, and the Niger River to the south. Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Libya, Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Niger, Western Sahara, Sudan, and Tunisia touch portions of the Sahara Desert. The Nile flows throughout the Sahara Desert. The Sahara's sand dunes encompass a large portion of this desert. It is not unusual to have sand dunes as tall as 600 feet. In addition to stone plateaus, salt flats, gravel plains, and desert valleys, there are numerous other geological formations. Serengeti Migration. This is one of the most frequented parks in Africa. It is home to nearly every predator and prey species. Lions, crocodiles, black rhinoceros, giraffes, elephants, flamingos, and leopards will be included. This Serengeti migration is a vacation must-see. It includes more than 2 million animals, including wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle. The greatest time to observe this migration is between June and October, during the dry season. Or the period between November and May. Don't forget your camera, for this is one of nature's finest moving pictures. The Red Sea Coral Reef. The Red Sea features some of the hottest and saltiest water in the world. Between the continents of Asia and Africa is a region. Its name derives from the reported hue shifts in its waters. The parallel coastlines of the Red Sea are approximately 100 miles apart. The Red Sea is regarded as a relatively young sea, whose early evolution mirrors that of the Atlantic Ocean. In the Red Sea, about 2,000 species of fish have been recognized. With species unique to the reef and not found nowhere else on Earth. We advise you to conduct a search for red sea fish species on the interweb. The Red Sea region receives a negligible amount of precipitation. However, at the bottom lie peculiar sediments with 30 to 60 feet of heavy metal oxide deposits. The Red Sea region contains 5 major types of mineral resources: petroleum deposits, evaporite deposits, sediments deposited due to evaporation, such as halite, sylvite, gypsum, and dolomite, sulfur, phosphates, and heavy metal deposits in the bottom oozes of the Atlantis II, Discovery, and other deeps. The majority of Red Sea islands are simply exposed reefs. Navigation is tough in the Red Sea. There are few natural harbors, and in the southern portion, the expansion of coral reefs has narrowed the navigable channel and obstructed certain harbor amenities. The sea separates the western coastlines of Egypt, Sudan, and Eritrea from those of Saudi Arabia and Yemen. The reef's expansiveness makes it a must-visit location. There are resorts and other recreational facilities on site. Okavango Delta. The Okavango Delta Reserve is a marshy interior delta covering around 5,000 square kilometers, and is considered the world's largest inland delta. This grassland or river delta lies in northern Botswana. There are more than 150,000 islands in the delta basin. Flooding during the wet season is mostly attributable to the region's nearly constant altitude. Much of the incoming water evaporates and transpires into the Kalahari's air. This exceptional natural environment is a vital place for biodiversity and natural flood zones. It contains a vast array of animals. The most prevalent species are lechwe and waterbuck, which feed on the aquatic vegetation. Other notable African creatures such as buffaloes, lions, leopards, African bush elephants, and both white and black rhinos are also included. In addition, giraffes, antelope, hyenas, hippos, impala, plains zebras, wildebeest, kudu, waterbuck, African wild dogs, aardvarks and aardwolves, honey badgers, and crocodiles are present. Over 400 species of birds inhabit the region, including the African fish eagle, guinea fowl, Pell's fishing owl, Egyptian geese, South African shelduck, African jacana, African skimmer, marabou stork, the crested crane, African spoonbill, African darter, southern ground hornbill, lilac-breasted roller, secretary bird, and common ostrich. Volcanoes National Park. This national park is located in the northwest of Rwanda. The park is the oldest national park in Africa. About half of the world's mountain gorillas reside in this park, making them a major draw. This region is also home to the critically endangered golden gorillas. Gorilla trekking is a popular tourist activity where you can observe these gentle giants eating bamboo and observing their feeding routines. The presence of buffaloes, black-fronted duikers, hyenas, and bushbucks is not unusual. The Volcanoes National Park is named after the chain of 5 dormant volcanoes that surround it, the tallest of which is Mount Karisimbi at 4,507 meters. It will take roughly 2 days to reach the summit. All of these excursions can be scheduled through the tourism office in Kinigi. Ngorogoro Crater, Tanzania. The Ngorogoro Crater, Africa's Eden, was formed 2 to 3 million years ago when a massive volcano erupted. This 300 square kilometer caldera, a big volcanic crater, is currently the best place to observe Africa's wild animals. Ngorongoro Crater is the world's largest uninterrupted crater. It is popularly called Africa's Garden of Eden and a fishbowl of biodiversity. This region is home to thousands of different types of animals in East Africa. The Big Six would consist of lions, rhinoceroses, leopards, elephants, bison, and hippos. The Ngorongoro Crater is 12 miles, 19 kilometers, in diameter and comprises 102 square miles, 264 square kilometers, of wildness. The rim of Ngorongoro Crater stands 2,000 feet above the floor of the crater. 7,500 feet above sea level. The 55 kilometers from Kilimanjaro International Airport to Arusha can be driven or flown. The location from where trips and lodging inside and outside the crater can be arranged. Lake Nakuru, Kenya. Thousands of pink flamingos congregate at Lake Nakuru to feed on the lake's algae. It has an approximate elevation of 5,755 feet above sea level. Located in central West Kenya. The park's features include waterfalls and 56 types of animals. Hippopotamus, white and black rhinoceros, giraffe, and buffalo are 4 of the world's most endangered species. And more than 550 plant species. Camping is permitted. For details, please contact the park warden at Lake Nakuru National Park. The Fish River Canyon. Located in Namibia, comprises roughly 5,600 square miles. Is regarded to be the largest canyon in Africa and the second largest canyon in the world. The canyon is 161 kilometers long, 27 kilometers broad, and 550 meters deep. It is one of the most popular hiking routes in southern Africa. A hike along the riverbank will take several days to complete. Due of the heat, the canyon is closed during the summer months. Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is the tallest peak in Africa and the tallest mountain in the world that stands on its own. It reaches a height of 5,895 meters and is one of the world's tallest stratovolcanoes. Mount Kilimanjaro is a composite volcano made up of lava, tephra, and volcanic ash layers. There is no known history of eruptions at this time. On the mountain, there are 7 different summits, with Uhuru Peak representing the highest elevation and the real summit. It has a year-round snow-covered summit. Despite the fact that no technical climbing abilities are required to scale this mountain. Kilimanjaro's varying height will result in altitude-related sickness. Your capacity to acclimate to low oxygen levels becomes increasingly difficult. It is advised to take the longer path, which will increase your chances of adjusting to the altitude. This also allows you to rest and recuperate, as this is not a race. If you merely wish to observe, the Kenyan side offers the most breathtaking vista. There are a variety of recreational opportunities in and around the region. Table Mountain. More than 300 million years ago, layers of sandstone accumulated to form this flat surface. Located in Cape Town, it is quite popular among climbers and hikers. And is regarded as a training ground for avid hikers. It was historically inhabited during the Stone Age. and was previously revered as sacred land by the Khoi and San, who believed that their god, Sui Goab, resided there. In 1652, the Dutch stole this area of the country from the Khoi and San people. There are around 350 routes leading to the summit. To traverse these paths, a hat, sunscreen, water, a raincoat, and snacks are required. The majority of travelers use the cable car to enter this national park. Avenue of the Baobabs. This dirt street lined by towering trees is an avenue located in Madagascar. Supposedly the most picturesque road in Madagascar. There are rows of 20 to 25 baobab huge freestanding trees. This site attracts a steady stream of visitors who want to learn more. Baobab trees can live up to 800 years and reach a height of 30 meters, 30 meters. The biggest trees can have a diameter of up to 36 feet, 11 meters, and a circumference of up to 160 feet, 50 meters. This rough and winding route requires an experienced driver, as it is not your typical route back home. The Namib Desert. Namibia's impressive Namib Desert is a fascinating place. 990 miles in length before entering the Atlantic Ocean. It comprises of enormous sand dune mountains. Some reach 300 meters in height. Due to the dry environment, this region is sparsely populated. Nonetheless, sandboarding is a popular hobby on these dunes. This area's beautiful sky make it possible to see shooting stars at night. The Blyde River Canyon. Considered among the most beautiful and verdant in the world. Located in the northeast of the Mpumalanga province of South Africa. It is the third longest canyon in the world, measuring 25 kilometers in length, 2,460 meters in width, and 750 meters in depth. Horseback riding, hot air ballooning, bicycling, and whitewater rafting are all wonderful ways to experience the location. The most convenient method to get here is to take a flight from Johannesburg to Nelspruit. Tsingy de Bemaraha Reserve. This landscape is located 400 kilometers west of Antananarivo on the western side of Madagascar. The terrain consists of 200-million-year-old limestone rock formations and mangrove forests. The reserve is the largest in Madagascar. There is no administration or zoning, thus no boundaries are defined. And there is no information provided to the settlers that could assist mitigate the reserve's impact. During the dry season, between April and November, it is accessible to the public, and is regarded one of the world's least frequented national parks. The closest hotels to the park are located in Marondava, 150 kilometers south of the airport. Victoria Falls. Mosi Oa Tunya is the local name for the fall, according to locals, meaning, the smoke that thunders. It creates the world's largest falling water fountain. It runs between the Zambian and Zimbabwean borders. Is the greatest waterfall in terms of width and height, which is almost 1 mile broad and 360 feet tall. In addition to hotels, lodges, and safari packages, exciting excursions can be organized. This is an experience you should not miss in your lifetime. It was a pleasure bringing you these video series, Natural Wonders on Our Continents. I truly believe there are hundreds more that could have been explored. However, the next series will be just as educational. Please subscribe, share and like as we journey on these adventures.